I'm Kris and I play bass.
I'm Andrew DeRoberts and I play guitar.
I'm Rylan Steen and I play drums and cymbals.
I'm Kale and I play guitar and keyboards.
I think we all know.
I'm Kris. I sing.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to sit down with us today. Just have a few questions because we haven't had too much opportunity to learn about you as a band. And I think firstly, just like to start by saying, when you first kind of met each other, what were your first impressions of each other and of Kris? Pretty much anyone who wants to jump in. You've got to say it in front of each other.
Taylor Rylan's like the spokesperson for everything. I thought everybody was really cool, you know. Definitely it was kind of crazy coming from Arkansas, like just, you know, like coming out to LA, and it was like, whoa, you know, like trying not to be freaked out and intimidated, but everybody was really nice and really cool. And I actually met Torres like the very first day, and we still kind of joke about like meeting each other and being like, oh, I remember being like, oh, this is like a really nice guy, like this is cool, you know, so it was cool.
It can always be an interesting process, like doing those auditions, because there's just dozens of musicians that are just going in and out of one room playing like the same one or two songs over and over, and I think those first few days generally most of the time you end up being a little guarded just because you don't know what's happening or what's going on. But once everyone was selected, you know, I think we seemed to hit it off pretty quickly. We all seemed to be on the same page musically, and everyone was pretty mellow enough, and no one had an ego, so no one was trying to. I mean, even Kris for that matter. You know, like just our main goal was, you know, really try and get the music sounding as good as possible, and so it was quite a delightful experience when we first met.
Yeah, I felt like I was just playing catch up the whole time because I was kind of the last guy to come in, so these guys were all set and I was just like trying to...
It didn't take you long, don't worry about it. It didn't take you long.
I was excited because I think the day we all decided that we found out we were going to be Kris's band, I think we all went out to get some lunch.
Yeah, Rylan took us to this, what was that place called?
Cafe 101.
Cafe 101.
Yeah, we piled in the back of my truck.
The Swingers Cafe, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
So it was
Nice.
fun. So it was on from then. So.
Awesome.
We saw Michael Cera the first lunch we had.
We did.
So I think that's like a good omen if you see that little guy. And
That works.
so-
That
Is
works.
that a
definitely.
K24?
Yeah. I was at somewhere. You ate those monster meatballs.
Thanks, Kris.
I'm just saying.
Well, you're the foodie, right? You love your food.
Especially Italian food.
Mm-hmm. Very
It's the
cool.
meatballs.
Yes.
Mhm.
It was a meatball sandwich.
It's called the Big Baller.
Nice. And it seemed like, to us, you gelled really quickly as a band. Did you kind of feel that you just kind of got into a rhythm pretty quickly?
I mean, I did. I mean, I felt like, I think it's like Rylan said, we all kind of had the same ideas musically. Obviously the music was there, but you know, we all like, wanted to keep it pretty real, actually really real. And pretty much, I mean, my take on everything is these guys are really good. And so I'm just like, you do whatever you do and whatever sounds good, we'll bring it together somehow. But, you know, but somewhere in there, like you can add whatever you want to, because I feel like they were talented and good enough to do that. So.
Well, I think we've certainly seen over the course of several concerts that I've been to, and certainly from a fan perspective, that, you know, you guys have like all kind of added new things to the songs as they were on the album, and, you know, made them even better.
Yeah, I think that's what, I mean, I hear that from a lot of people. I remember it was like one of the first shows we did, and it might have been with Allison, and she was like, Kris, I like the songs way better live than on the record, which is cool, you know, for us, because that says a lot for the band, and it's just, I mean, I've always loved that. I've always loved listening to live stuff and going, wow, that's way cooler than the record, you know, so it's cool.
It's certainly a challenge. Like it's an interesting thing these days with pop albums, and there's quite a bit of production on pop albums these days, so it can be quite a challenge to get the band live arrangements down, because we didn't want to be a band that had a bunch of pre-recorded tracks playing, you know, that we play along to. We wanted to just be able to have it be, you know, the music you're hearing out front as the music coming from the 5 guys that are on stage. So it took a while, but I think it was definitely, we were all pretty proud of that we were able to just.
And I think that really comes across at the concerts for sure. I know the fans all would love for you guys to make a live album. Do you think that would ever be something that you would consider if the situation arose?
Maybe somewhere down the road. I don't know. It's definitely probably not going to be. It's definitely not going to happen probably for this album. But maybe somewhere down the road, it's something that I think that if we were to do it, we'd have to put so much time into it.
Right, sure.
And right now, there's just none.
There isn't any time, absolutely. Maybe an EP somewhere along the way.
Maybe so.
That'd be a little less pressure. Do you ever watch any of the performances that fans video on YouTube? Do you ever kind of go and take a look and see what's out there? Kale's the man for that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the YouTube guy. So
Are you still doing that a lot though?
Usually, not as much as I was.
He was doing it every night usually.
But there's all this stuff.
But do you learn anything about the way that it all looks on stage?
Yeah, and that's kind of why I was doing it. Was just like you can't always hear yourself very well. So it's like for me, I was getting on to make sure I wasn't screwing anything up. Like I want to make sure like my voice is on, or like this part is on, or like just how the song feels from an outside perspective. Because what we hear on stage is really different from what the audience hears.
Right.
And so even though a lot of times it's like really like distorted through the cameras trying to pick that up.
Which, side note, it's wonderful, some of the videos that people decide to put on YouTube. Here's me at the concert. It's 30 seconds of that, and it's like, sorry for the audio. It's not as good as I'd like it to sound.
100,000 people have watched this. This guy sucks.
Yeah. But we love those. I love those. Like, family loves those. I get text messages from my dad all the time, like, hey, saw so and so at Valparaiso and it was awesome or whatever. I'm like, okay, thanks, Dad. Appreciate that.
Very cool.
We had a video performance from the Red Rock show we did, and it was. We watched that for a little bit. I try not to watch anything.
Right. Okay.
So I'm glad other people watch stuff because I have a hard time watching that. So.
Fair enough.
I like to go through and just kind of spot check. Like, kind of check just random short points, beginnings and endings.
He goes and listens to his solos. Don't let him. Don't let him freak you out. I sounded pretty awesome.
Usually skip those parts.
Were you surprised how quickly people became fans of like the band as well as Kris? And was it weird for you guys when people would be like, "Can we have your autograph? Can we get a picture with you?" Did that kind of weird you out at all in the beginning? Or?
I think Torres is pretty used to it. I mean, when you look like this guy, and I mean,
He just walks down the street.
Yeah,
and you're like,
people.
I feel like I need your
I
autograph.
need your autograph. So, probably not a big deal for him. But.
Well, I feel like from the beginning, like the musical director who helped put the band together, from the beginning he had the idea. I think it was his idea that he really wanted, the band that Kris had backing up. It's almost like it's not just Kris Allen on stage; it's like the Kris Allen band.
Absolutely.
And I think that was sort of what they were going for. And I gotta give it up to the people who ended up picking the band because I think they did do a good job. Because I think that the goal that they set out to achieve, I think they achieved it.
Yeah, I think
So.
I think it works really well. And like I say, everyone seems to, just love all you guys as a whole.
Yeah.
And that's great.
I feel like they like them more than
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine.
Dune, bud.
I want American Idol. Nobody likes me.
It takes the pressure off you, right?
It does. No, I'm glad that it happened that way because then I don't know. I'd much rather them be a part of it. So
I think it worked out for a reason. I mean, because it feels really natural. It definitely feels really natural, and it's. I think all of us kind of coming from band backgrounds, it was easy to be able to, like, okay, we know how to be a band, and we know how to back you up, and that kind of thing. So I think it just worked naturally.
Dish the dirt. You all have been touring on the bus together for a while. You probably know all each other's bad habits. And come on, what dirt can you dish? Who has what bad habit?
bad habits.
Sometimes I forget to put the cap back on the mustard jar.
Oh no.
Maybe we could each give our own. Sometimes I don't do it as much now, but I'll leave a bag. I'll leave my big bag on the bus, and it'll be in the way.
No.
So that's mine.
No.
I feel like that's the most maybe annoying thing that I try not to do anymore.
I know after I get done working out, like I'll hang my workout clothes from my bunk, and nobody said anything, but I'm sure it's kind of annoying and smelly, but I just don't know where else to put it.
You called yourself out the other last week on it.
Oh, did I? Yeah.
I leave
You
mine.
know, you live in a small little area with 10 people. It's like little things can bound to like get on people's nerves, but maybe people don't say anything. It's like, so it's like Kale was saying with the back. So you're just gonna leave that there tonight? I mean, that's
Ryland's
cool.
really good about it.
You're like, that's cool if you're gonna leave it there. I'm just saying, like, okay, so you're gonna leave it there. That's
Whose
cool.
socks are these?
The general area stays clean.
It's
That's good.
Like the front area stays clean. I mean, I sleep till 3, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doris
it could be.
stays out of everybody's way
Yeah,
until about
fine.
3 in the afternoon.
My bunk,
Sometimes
yeah.
I leave my DVD player on at night, and that will keep Kale up. Because that thing lights up like a spaceship.
It's really bright. I just like it to be dark.
Kale likes
Not
it,
just a
Kale likes it to
little
be pitch black everywhere.
I always feel like a dad. I'm like, he's like falling asleep with his headphones on. I'm like, turn his lights off. Tuck him in.
Kale and I share rooms in hotels. Kale blocks out every light in the entire room. You know the little red light on the TV?
Mm-hmm.
Kale will take an entire pillow and put it in front of the TV
I had to do it last night.
just to block out.
He will unplug his DVD player because it has like one time.
You know, we should
nighttime.
get you like one of those masks.
No, I don't want to. I'm gonna like freak out and think something's on my face.
You're gonna wake up and think you're blind.
Yeah. Because I'll forget.
I know.
Screaming stuff.
Okay, one final question, if I may. I would be shocked if I didn't ask this, but everyone wants to know if the Kris Allen Band will be featuring in either the All Right With Me video or future videos. Now, what you can say, what you can't is understandable, but what can you say?
I mean,
Stay tuned.
I would say that if they weren't in it, then it would be kind of awkward. It would be a little awkward, and I think it would be a disappointment to a lot of people. That's all I'm gonna say.
That works for me. That's great. Well, thanks again so much for giving us some time today.
Yeah,
We
thanks.
appreciate it.
Actually, the next video is just going to be us, and Kris actually isn't in it. We actually take turns singing. Yeah.
That could be interesting.
It's such a good idea. You're like, oh, dude.
Well, thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Cool.